The courtroom is packed. Every seat is full. People stand along the back wall. They're here for case 2025 tier 91,863. They've heard rumors. This one is going to be good. Judge Frank Caprio sits at the bench. His eyes scan the room. He's seen thousands of cases, but something about today feels different. The bailiff stands. His voice booms. Case 2025 TR 91,863. The state versus Natasha Winters. The doors open. In walks a woman. She's 28 years old. Her designer pantsuit probably costs $5,000. It's perfectly tailored. Not a wrinkle anywhere. Her heels click on the floor. Louboutins. The red soles flash with each step. Her hair is styled like she just left a salon. Her makeup is flawless. Professional. Perfect. But she's not alone. Behind her walks another woman. Younger. Maybe 22. She's dressed simply. A black skirt. A white blouse. Sensible shoes. She carries a tablet. A phone. A letter folder. She walks 2 steps behind Natasha. Her head is down. The gallery murmurs. Who is that? Natasha doesn't approach the defendant's stand. Instead, she stops in the middle of the courtroom. She pulls out her phone. Her thumbs move across the screen. She's texting someone. The young woman with her shifts nervously. She glances at the judge, then back at Natasha. Judge Caprio watches. He waits. 30 seconds pass. Then a minute. Ms. Winters, he says. His voice is calm. Professional. Please approach. Natasha doesn't look up. 1 second, she says. Her voice is sharp. Clipped, like she's talking to someone beneath her. The bailiff's eyebrows rise. A woman in the front row leans forward. This is already unusual. Judge Caprio waits. He folds his hands on the desk. His face shows nothing. But inside, he's taking notes. Mental notes. Finally, Natasha finishes her text. She slides the phone into her designer purse. Prada. The logo gleams. She looks at the young woman behind her. Come on, Raleigh. They both walk to the defendant's stand. But Natasha doesn't stop there. She walks past it. She heads toward the gallery seating. Ms. Winters, Judge Caprio says. His voice is firmer now. The defendant stands here. He points to the wooden podium. Natasha turns. She looks annoyed, like someone just asked her to do something ridiculous. Right, she says. She walks back, but slowly, like this is all such an inconvenience. Riley, the young woman, stands beside her. She clutches the tablet to her chest. Her knuckles are white. Judge Caprio opens the file in front of him. Ms. Winters, you're here today for multiple traffic violations. Running a red light at the intersection of Maple Street and 4th Avenue. Speeding. 68 miles per hour in a posted 35 zone. And reckless driving. According to the report, you nearly struck a pedestrian in the crosswalk. Do you understand these charges? Natasha looks at Riley, then back at the judge. Riley will handle this, she says. Silence. The courtroom goes completely still. You could hear a pin drop. People look at each other. Did she just... Judge Caprio blinks. I'm sorry. What did you say? Natasha gestures to Riley. My assistant will answer your questions. I have a product launch call in 20 minutes. I really can't be late. Riley's face goes pale. She looks like she might faint. Her mouth opens, closes. No words come out. Judge Caprio leans forward. His eyes narrow. Ms. Winters, let me be very clear. This is a court of law. You are the defendant. You must answer for yourself. Your assistant cannot speak for you. Natasha sighs, a long, dramatic sigh, like a teenager who's just been told to clean her room. Look, I run a tech company. We just got Series B funding. $15 million. I have investors to answer to. Board meetings, product deadlines. I don't have time to memorize traffic details. That's literally what I pay Riley for. The gallery erupts. Whispers fill the room. Someone laughs. Not a happy laugh. A shocked laugh. A woman near the back speaks to the person next to her. Her voice carries. Is she serious right now? Judge Caprio raises his hand. The room quiets. Ms. Winters, this court does not operate on your schedule. When you're cited for violations, you are required to appear and answer personally. not through an employee. Natasha crosses her arms. Can we just, I don't know, get through this quickly? I'll pay whatever fine. Just add it to my card. She actually pulls out a black American Express card. She holds it up. Like that solves everything. Riley looks at the floor, her shoulders hunch. She wishes she could disappear. If you believe justice should apply equally to everyone, no matter how much money they have, you're going to want to see what happens next, because what this judge does will absolutely shock you. Judge Caprio closes the file. He looks at Natasha, really looks at her. Ms. Winters put the card away. This isn't a transaction. This is a legal proceeding. He pauses. Now, before we continue, I want to understand something. You brought your assistant to court. Why? Natasha shrugs. She manages my calendar, my appointments, my everything, really. I figured she could handle this too. Handle court, Judge Caprio repeats. His voice is flat. Yeah, Natasha says, like it's obvious. I mean, I read the summons. It's just traffic stuff. I wasn't driving drunk or anything. No big deal. The judge's jaw tightens, just slightly. Let me share something with you, Ms. Winters. Before we discuss your violations, there's another person involved in your case. Someone I'd like you to meet. He gestures to the bailiff. Please bring in Mrs. Chen. A door opens. A woman walks in. She's in her 60s. Her hair is gray. She wears scrubs. The kind nurses wear. They're blue with little teddy bears on them. Pediatric scrubs. Her face is kind. Tired. She has dark circles under her eyes. She walks with a slight limp. Her left leg drags just a bit. Natasha barely glances at her. She checks her Apple Watch, the new Ultra model. $2,000 on her wrist. Mrs. Chen stands near the witness area. She looks nervous, her hands clasped in front of her. Judge Caprio smiles at her, a warm smile. Mrs. Chen, thank you for coming. Please tell us what happened on the afternoon of October 9th. Mrs. Chen nods. Her voice shakes a little. I was crossing Maple Street. At the crosswalk. The light was green. The walk signal was on. I looked both ways. Like always, I started crossing. She pauses, takes a breath. Then I heard an engine, really loud, really close. I turned my head. A car was coming right at me. A white Tesla. It wasn't slowing down. The light was red, completely red, but the car kept coming. Natasha examines her nails. Perfect French manicure. Fresh, probably done this morning. Mrs. Chen continues, I tried to move faster, but my leg. I had surgery 6 months ago. Hip replacement. I can't run. The car got so close. So close I could see the driver's face. She was looking down. At her lap. Not at the road, not at me. Her voice cracks. I fell trying to get out of the way. I landed on my bad hip. The car missed me by maybe 2 feet. Maybe less. It didn't even slow down. It just kept going. The courtroom is silent. People stare at Natasha. She still isn't looking at Mrs. Chen. Judge Caprio speaks gently to Mrs. Chen. And what happened after you fell? People ran over. Someone called an ambulance. I was on the ground for 20 minutes before they came. My hip was screaming. I thought I'd broken it again. Thought I'd need another surgery. She wiped her eye. I was terrified. And your hip? The judge asks. Okay, thank God, but I had to do physical therapy again. Missed 2 weeks of work. I'm a pediatric nurse at Providence Children's Hospital. We were short-staffed. My coworkers had to cover my shifts. I felt awful. Natasha finally speaks. She doesn't address Mrs. Chen. She looks at the judge. Is this really necessary? I mean, she's clearly fine. She's standing right there. The room gasps. Actual gasps, like air being sucked out. Mrs. Chen's face falls. She looks at Natasha. Really looks at her. Her eyes show hurt. Confusion. Judge Caprio's expression changes. His eyes harden. Ms. Winters, that comment was inappropriate. Extremely inappropriate. Natasha rolls her eyes. Actually rolls her eyes. In court. I'm just saying no one got hurt. Not really. So maybe we're being a bit dramatic here. Riley touches Natasha's arm. Ms. Winters, she whispers, maybe we should. Natasha pulls her arm away. Really, not now. Judge Caprio takes a deep breath. Let's review the evidence. Officer Martinez, please approach. A police officer stands. He's been sitting in the gallery. He walks to the front. His uniform is crisp. His badge shines. He looks professional. Serious. Officer Martinez, you responded to this incident. What did you find? The officer opens his notepad. At approximately 3:47 p.m. on October 9th, I responded to a 911 call at Maple and 4th. Witnesses reported a white Tesla Model S running a red light and nearly hitting a pedestrian. When I arrived, Mrs. Chen was on the ground. Paramedics were treating her. Multiple witnesses gave statements. They all said the same thing. The light was red. The Tesla didn't even slow down. He flips a page. Traffic cameras caught the whole thing. The footage shows the light had been red for 4 seconds. 4 full seconds. The Tesla entered the intersection going 68 miles per hour. The speed limit there is 35. Natasha interrupts. Those cameras aren't even accurate. Everyone knows that. Officer Martinez looks at her. His face is neutral, professional, but his eyes show something. Disappointment, maybe. The cameras are calibrated monthly, ma'am. They're accurate. Judge Caprio nods. Continue, officer. I pulled the Tesla over 6 blocks later. The driver matched the vehicle registration. Natasha Winters. He looks at Natasha. When I approached the vehicle, Ms. Winters was on her phone. She had her laptop open on the passenger seat. She was on a video call. I was working, Natasha says. Like that explains everything. While driving, the officer says, when I asked for her license and registration, she said, he checks his notes, reads the exact words. She said, this is ridiculous. Do you know who I am? I'm literally in the middle of closing a deal. This call is worth more than your yearly salary. People in the gallery shake their heads. A man in the back crosses his arms. His face shows anger. Officer Martinez continues. I asked if she was aware she nearly struck a pedestrian. She said she didn't see anyone. I explained the charges. Running a red light. Reckless driving. Speeding. She became agitated. She said, and I quote, just give me the ticket. I'll have my lawyer deal with it. I have actual important things to do. Judge Caprio writes something down. Did she show any concern for the pedestrian? No, Your Honor, none at all. The judge looks at Natasha. Is Officer Martinez's account accurate? Natasha waves her hand dismissively. I might have said something like that. I was stressed. We were negotiating with investors. Do you know how hard it is to run a startup? Every second counts. Every call matters. And Mrs. Chen? The judge asks. Does she matter? Natasha pauses. Well, obviously, but she's fine. Nothing actually happened. Mrs. Chen's lip trembles. She looks down. Riley shifts uncomfortably. She looks like she wants to say something, but she doesn't. Judge Caprio opens another document. Let's talk about your driving record, Ms. Winters. This isn't your first violation, is it? Natasha looks annoyed. I've gotten a few tickets. Who hasn't? 7 tickets, the judge says. In the past 18 months, 3 for speeding, 2 for running red lights, 1 for illegal U-turn, 1 for texting while driving, all paid. No court appearances. You just paid the fines and continued. Exactly, Natasha says. I paid. That's how the system works, right? You break a rule, you pay the fine. Everyone moves on. Judge Caprio leans back in his chair. He studies her. Ms. Winters, do you understand why traffic laws exist? Natasha sighs. To make money for the city? Gasps. More gasps. A woman actually stands up. The bailiff gestures for her to sit. She does. But her face is red. Angry. No, Judge Caprio says. His voice is calm. But there's steel underneath. Traffic laws exist to keep people safe. To protect lives. To ensure that everyone, can use our roads without fear of injury or death. Natasha looks at her watch again. Okay, sure, but can we wrap this up? My call starts in 12 minutes. The judge's eyebrows rise. Ms. Winters, you seem to think your time is more valuable than this court's time. More valuable than Mrs. Chen's safety. More valuable than the law itself. I didn't say that. Natasha protests. Your actions say it, the judge replies. Your words say it. Everything about your behavior today says it. Natasha crosses her arms tighter. Her jaw sets. Look, I run a company. TechVista. We're disrupting the social media analytics space. We have 43 employees, offices in 3 cities. I've been featured in Forbes, Business Insider, TechCrunch. I'm kind of a big deal. And yeah, my time is valuable. I'm not trying to be rude. It's just facts. The courtroom erupts. People talk over each other. Someone shouts, "Unbelievable." Another voice, "Who does she think she is?" Judge Caprio bangs his gavel. Once. The room silences. Ms. Winters, I'm going to ask you a direct question. I want you to think carefully before answering. Do you believe you're above the law? Natasha laughs. Actually laughs. A short, sharp sound. No, of course not. That's not what I'm saying at all. Then what are you saying? The judge asks. I'm saying that I'm busy, really busy. And this, she gestures around the courtroom. This feels like a waste of everyone's time. I'll pay the fine. I'll pay double, triple, whatever. Just let me get back to work. Judge Caprio sets down his pen. Let me tell you about Mrs. Chen, since you don't seem interested in her as a person. Mrs. Chen has worked at Providence Children's Hospital for 37 years. 37 years caring for sick children. She's worked night shifts, double shifts, holidays. She's held the hands of children fighting cancer. She's comforted parents who've lost their babies. She makes $48,000 a year. Natasha's face doesn't change. No emotion. Nothing. The judge continues. When she had her hip surgery, she couldn't afford to take much time off. She came back to work in 3 weeks. Doctors told her to take 6, but she needed the money. She has a granddaughter. The girl's mother, Mrs. Chen's daughter, died 2 years ago. Car accident. Drunk driver. Mrs. Chen is raising that little girl alone. She's 7 years old. Mrs. Chen nods. A tear rolls down her cheek. Mrs. Chen walks to work, Judge Caprio says. Every day. She doesn't own a car. She takes the bus when it's raining. Otherwise, she walks. It's 1.5 miles. Each way. 3 miles a day. With a bad hip, because she can't afford car payments and insurance and her granddaughter's needs. He pauses. Lets that sink in. On October 9th, Mrs. Chen was walking to work. Early shift. She needed to be there by 4 o'clock. She was crossing the street, legally, carefully, and you, Ms. Winters, nearly killed her. Because you were on a business call. Because your deal was more important than looking at the road. More important than a red light. More important than a woman's life. Natasha shifts her weight. For the first time, she looks slightly uncomfortable. But she doesn't apologize. She doesn't say anything. Judge Caprio continues. Now you want to pay a fine and leave. You think money solves this. But let me ask you something. If you had hit Mrs. Chen, if your Tesla had struck her at 68 miles per hour, what would have happened? Natasha doesn't answer. She would have died, the judge says. His voice is quiet, but every word carries weight. Instantly. Or maybe she would have suffered. Broken bones, internal bleeding, brain injury. Either way, her granddaughter would be alone, 7 years old, both her mother and grandmother gone, killed by drivers who didn't look, who didn't care. The room is completely silent. Even Natasha has stopped checking her watch. Your company would survive without you for 1 day, Judge Caprio says. Your investors would wait. Your deals would keep. But Mrs. Chen's granddaughter? She can't wait. She only has one grandmother. One person in the world who loves her unconditionally, who takes care of her. And you almost took that away. Riley wipes her eyes. She's crying, quietly. Her shoulders shake. Natasha stares straight ahead. Her face is a mask. Unreadable. Judge Caprio opens another folder. Let's look at your phone records. Your phone company provided them under subpoena. At 3:47 p.m. on October 9th, you were on a video call. The call started at 3:32. It lasted 47 minutes. During that call, you were driving. For 15 minutes, you drove while on a video call. He looks at her. Is that accurate? Natasha's lawyer, who's been sitting quietly until now, stands. Your Honor, my client. I'm asking your client, Judge Caprio says. Not you. Ms. Winters, is that accurate? Natasha lifts her chin. Yes, I was on a call, but I use hands-free. The phone was mounted. Video call that the judge emphasizes. You were looking at the screen, at faces, at presentation, not at the road. I can multitask, Natasha says, confident, sure of herself. Clearly not, the judge replies, because you ran a red light, nearly killed someone, and didn't even notice. Natasha's confidence cracks. Just a little. It was one mistake. One, I'm not a bad person. I made an error in judgment. 7 tickets. The judge reminds her. 7 errors in judgment. In 18 months. Ms. Winters, that's not errors. That's a pattern. A pattern of believing the rules don't apply to you. That's not fair, Natasha says. Her voice rises. You don't know me. You don't know my life. Do you know how hard I've worked? I built my company from nothing. Literally nothing. I started in a studio apartment with a laptop and an idea. I worked 100-hour weeks. I gave up everything. My social life, my relationships, my health. I made TechVista happen through pure determination. Judge Caprio nods. That's admirable. Truly. Building a business takes sacrifice, hard work, dedication. But none of that gives you the right to endanger others. None of it makes you special on the road. I never said I was special, Natasha insists. Then why is Riley here? The judge asks. Silence. You brought your assistant to answer for you, Judge Caprio says. In court. You thought you could send someone else to take responsibility for your actions. If that's not believing you're special, what is? Natasha's mouth opens, closes. She has no answer. Riley looks at the floor. Her face is red, embarrassed. Judge Caprio looks at Riley. His expression softens. Young lady, what's your name? Riley looks up. Surprised? Riley? Riley Stevens, Your Honor. Really? How long have you worked for Ms. Winters? 14 months, Riley says quietly. And what do you do for her? Riley glances at Natasha, then back at the judge. Hi, I manage her schedule. Answer emails, book travel, coordinate meetings, prepare presentations, give her coffee, pick up dry cleaning, whatever she needs. How many hours a week? The judge asks. Riley hesitates. It varies, usually 60, sometimes more. And you're paid? $38,000 a year, Riley says. Her voice is barely audible. Judge Caprio does the math in his head. That's less than minimum wage for 60-hour weeks. Riley nods, says nothing. Really, when Ms. Winters asked you to come to court today to answer for her, what did you think? Riley's eyes fill with tears. Hi. I thought it was weird, wrong, but I didn't know how to say no. She's my boss. I need this job. I have student loans. Rent. I can't afford to lose my income. So you felt you had to come? The judge says gently. Yes, Riley whispers. Judge Caprio looks at Natasha. Ms. Winters, you put your employee in an impossible position. You've asked her to do something inappropriate, something that made her uncomfortable, because you couldn't be bothered to take responsibility yourself. Natasha's face flushes. I thought I was being efficient, delegating. This isn't a business meeting, the judge says. This is court. You can't delegate accountability. Natasha's phone buzzes. In her purse. She instinctively reaches for it. Don't, Judge Caprio says sharply. Don't even think about it. Natasha's hand freezes. She pulls it back. It's my investors. They're expecting me. Let them wait, the judge says. Natasha's face hardens. Her jaw clenches. This is insane. I came here. I showed up. I'm willing to pay whatever fine you want. What more do you want from me? Acknowledgement, the judge says. Responsibility. Understanding. Growth. Any of those would be a start. I already said I made a mistake, Natasha snaps. What else am I supposed to do? Write an essay? Do a PowerPoint presentation about traffic safety? The sarcasm drips from her words. Heavy. Obvious. And that's when it happens. That's the moment everything changes. Judge Caprio sets down his papers. He removes his glasses. He looks directly at Natasha. When he speaks, his voice is different. Quieter, but somehow more powerful. Ms. Winters, Let me tell you what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to look at Mrs. Chen. Really look at her. You're supposed to imagine what would have happened if you'd been going 2 feet to the left. You're supposed to think about a 7-year-old girl losing the only family she has left. You're supposed to feel something. Anything. Remorse. Guilt. Empathy. Basic human emotion. He pauses. But you don't, do you? You feel inconvenience. Annoyed. You feel like this court is wasting your precious time. Like Mrs. Chen is being dramatic. Like the law is an obstacle to your productivity. Natasha opens her mouth, but no words come out. You know what I think? Judge Caprio continues, I think you spent so much time building your empire, making your money, proving you're successful, that you've forgotten something crucial. You've forgotten that you're not the center of the universe, that other people matter, that their lives have value, that their safety is more important than your conference calls. That's not. Natasha starts. I'm not finished, the judge says. His voice is firm, not loud, but commanding. You came in my courtroom today with your designer clothes and your expensive watch, and your assistant trailing behind you like you're some kind of queen. You've shown zero respect for this court, zero concern for the woman you nearly killed, zero understanding of why you're here. And then, you had the audacity to tell me you're too busy to be held accountable. The courtroom is frozen. No one moves. No one breathes. Judge Caprio continues, in my 40 years on the bench, I've seen a lot of defendants. Rich ones, poor ones, arrogant ones, remorseful ones. But I have never seen someone bring an employee to answer for them in court, as if accountability is a task you can delegate, as if justice is a service you can outsource. Natasha's face is pale now. The color has drained. She looks smaller somehow, less confident. You want to know what you're supposed to do? The judge asks. You're supposed to understand that your wealth, your success, your forward features mean nothing in here. In this courtroom, you're not a CEO. You're not a tech entrepreneur. You're not special. You're a defendant, a person who broke the law, who endangered a life, and who needs to be held accountable, just like anyone else. He puts his glasses back on. So no, Ms. Winters, you don't get to pay a fine and leave. You don't get to buy your way out. You don't get to treat this like a business transaction, because some things in life can't be purchased, and justice is one of them. 10 seconds of absolute silence. The courtroom holds its breath. Then Natasha speaks. Her voice is different now. Shaky. Your Honor, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. You just what? The judge asks. You just thought you were above this. You just assumed your time was more valuable than everyone else's. You just believed money could solve everything? Natasha doesn't answer. Her hands start to tremble. The gallery watches. Some people nod, satisfied. Others lean forward. What happens next? Judge Caprio picks up his gavel. Ms. Winters, I'm going to render my judgment now, and I want you to listen very carefully, because what I'm about to do will change your life. Natasha's breathing quickens. Her perfect composure is cracking, piece by piece. Riley puts a hand on her arm, a gesture of support. Despite everything, Riley still cares. For the violation of running a red light, I fine you $2,500, the judge begins. Natasha barely reacts. That's nothing to her. Pocket change. For reckless driving, I fine you $7,500. Still nothing. She can afford that easily. For speeding in a school zone, yes, Ms. Winters, Maple Street is a school zone between 2 and 4 p.m. I fine you an additional $5,000. Natasha shifts. $15,000 total. More than expected, but still manageable. Your license is suspended for 180 days, 6 months. Now she reacts. Her eyes widen. 6 months? But I need to drive. How am I supposed to? You should have thought of that before, the judge says. You have Uber, Lyft, taxis, the bus, the same options Mrs. Chen uses every day. You'll figure it out. Natasha's lawyer stands. Your Honor, that seems excessive for. I'm not finished. Judge Caprio says. The lawyer sits. You will complete 250 hours of community service, the judge continues. The gallery murmurs. 250 hours. That's a lot. Specifically, you will volunteer at Providence Children's Hospital. the same hospital where Mrs. Chen works. You will work in the cafeteria, serving food, cleaning tables, washing dishes. You will wear a uniform, a hairnet, gloves, and you will do this every Saturday and Sunday for the next 6 months. 8 hours each day. That's 48 Saturdays and Sundays, no exceptions, no substitutions. Natasha's mouth drops open. You can't be serious. That's insane. I have a company to run. Board meetings on weekends, investor calls, product launches. You'll reschedule, the judge says simply. I can't just. Natasha sputters. Do you know how much my time is worth? 8 hours on a weekend, I could close deals worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And there it is, the moment everyone was waiting for. Judge Caprio leans forward. His eyes lock onto hers. Ms. Winters, you just said the words that perfectly illustrate why you're here. You actually just told me in court, under oath, that your time is too valuable for consequences. That making money is more important than taking responsibility. That your business is more important than the law. Natasha realizes her mistake. Her face goes white. No, I didn't mean. Yes, you did, the judge says. You meant exactly that. And that, Ms. Winters, is precisely why this sentence is appropriate. You need to learn something that your success has allowed you to forget. You need to learn humility, service, the value of work that isn't about profit, the importance of contributing to something larger than yourself. He's not done. Furthermore, you will write a handwritten letter of apology to Mrs. Chen. Not typed, not dictated to Riley. Handwritten, by you, a minimum of 1,000 words. You will explain what you did wrong, why it was wrong, what you've learned, and how you'll change. And you will read it aloud to Mrs. Chen, in person, at a time of her choosing. Natasha looks like she might cry. Her perfect makeup threatens to run. Additionally, you will create and record a public service announcement about distracted driving. It will be 1 minute long. You will discuss your offense, your consequences, the danger you posed. It will be aired on local television and radio. It will be posted on your company's social media, your personal social media, all platforms, and it will remain up permanently. Not for a week, not for a month, permanently. The gallery reacts. People talk, whisper, some smile, some look shocked. This is severe. Your Honor, Natasha's lawyer tries again. This is highly unusual. The community service requirement alone is entirely within my discretion, Judge Caprio finishes. As is the rest of the sentence, your client can appeal if she wishes, but I assure you this sentence will stand. The lawyer sits down. He looks at Natasha, shakes his head slightly. There's nothing he can do. You will undergo a comprehensive driver safety course. 40 hours. You will attend every session, pass every test, and you will do this before your license can be reinstated. And finally, Judge Caprio says, I'm charging you with contempt of court. The room gasps. Even the bailiff looks surprised. Contempt? Natasha's voice cracks. For what? For bringing your assistant to answer for you, the judge explains. For your disrespectful behavior throughout these proceedings. For checking your watch repeatedly. For suggesting this court is beneath you. For your complete lack of remorse. Ms. Winters, you have shown utter contempt for this court, for the law, and for the judicial system. That carries consequences. He bangs his gavel once. 15 days in county jail, to be served immediately. Natasha stumbles backward. Riley catches her. Jail? You're putting me in jail? You can't do that. I can, and I am. Bailiff, please take Ms. Winters into custody. The bailiff moves forward. He reaches for Natasha's arm. She pulls away. No, wait. Please, Your Honor, please. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'll do the community service. I'll write the letter. I'll do everything. Please don't put me in jail, please. Her voice breaks. The mask shatters completely. Tears stream down her face. Her makeup runs. Black mascara streaks her cheeks. I'm sorry, she sobs. I'm so sorry. I didn't understand. I didn't. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Please don't do this. Riley is crying too. She holds Natasha's hand. Your Honor, please, Riley begs. She's learning. Can't you see she's learning? Judge Caprio's face softens, just a fraction. Miss Stephens, your loyalty is admirable, but your employer needs to face consequences. Real consequences, not fines she can write off. Not community service she can complain about. Real accountability. He looks at Natasha. Ms. Winters, do you understand now? Do you finally understand what this is about? Natasha nods frantically. Tears drip onto her expensive jacket. Dark spots spread across the fabric. Yes, I understand. I'm not special. I'm not above the law. I almost killed someone. I didn't care. I should have cared. I should have stopped. I should have apologized. I should have. Her words tumble out. Fast. Desperate. You should have taken responsibility, the judge says quietly. From the beginning. But instead, you brought Riley. You tried to delegate your accountability. You showed everyone in this room that you believe money and success make you exempt from basic human decency. Natasha covers her face with her hands. Her shoulders shake. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Mrs. Chen watches from the side. Her face shows something complex. Sadness, pity, maybe a hint of satisfaction. Justice being served. The bailiff reaches for Natasha again. This time she doesn't resist. She's broken. Completely. Then Mrs. Chen speaks. Her voice is soft. Your Honor? Everyone turns, looks at her. Yes, Mrs. Chen, the judge says. May I say something? Of course. Mrs. Chen walks closer. She looks at Natasha, right at her. Their eyes meet. Natasha can't hold the gaze. She looks down. Ms. Winters, Mrs. Chen says, you almost killed me that day. I was terrified. I had nightmares for weeks. Every time I cross a street now, I'm scared. I look both ways 5 times. I wait extra long, because I can't trust drivers anymore. Natasha's tears fall harder. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry. I know you are, Mrs. Chen says. Now? But you weren't then. You weren't even sorry an hour ago. You were just annoyed. Natasha nods. You're right. You're absolutely right. Mrs. Chen takes a breath. But I also believe in second chances. My daughter didn't get one. The driver who hit her ran a red light. Just like you. He was texting. Just like you were on your call. He killed her. Took my baby from me. From her baby. The room is silent. Respectful. Heartbroken. You didn't kill me, Mrs. Chen continues. By the grace of God, you didn't. And maybe this is your chance to learn. To change. To become someone who wouldn't make that mistake again. She looks at the judge. Your Honor, I'm not asking you to reduce her sentence. She needs to face consequences. She needs to understand. But I am asking that you give her a chance to prove she can change. That she's not just scared of jail. That she's truly sorry. Judge Caprio nods slowly. Mrs. Chen, your compassion is remarkable. After everything, you still extend grace. That speaks to your character. He looks at Natasha, studies her. She's a mess. Makeup ruined. Hair disheveled. Jacket wrinkled from where Riley's been holding her up. The perfect image is gone. What's left is just a scared young woman. Human. Flawed. Fragile. Ms. Winters, Mrs. Chen is offering you something you don't deserve. Mercy. I'm inclined to honor her request, but only if you can prove to me right now that you understand the gravity of your actions. Natasha wipes her face. She looks at Mrs. Chen. Really looks at her. Mrs. Chen, I almost killed you. I almost made your granddaughter an orphan. Because I was on a business call. Because I thought my deal was more important than watching the road. I was wrong. So completely wrong. I'm sorry. I know that's not enough. I know words can't undo what I did. But I am truly deeply sorry. She takes a shaky breath. I've been so focused on success, on building my company, on proving I'm worth something, that I forgot the most basic thing. I forgot to be a decent human being. I forgot that other people matter, that their lives are just as valuable as mine. More valuable, actually, because Mrs. Chen spends her life caring for sick children, and I spend mine analyzing social media metrics. She laughs, a sad, hollow sound. My company is supposed to help people connect, but I've disconnected from everything real. From compassion, from responsibility, from basic respect. Judge Caprio listens. His face is unreadable. Natasha continues. I brought Riley here because I didn't want to face this. I didn't want to take responsibility. I've built my whole life around avoiding discomfort, avoiding anything that slows me down. But Mrs. Chen is right. I need consequences. I need to learn. I need to change. She looks at the judge. Please give me that chance. Let me do the community service. Let me work at the hospital. Let me write the apology. Let me make the PSA. I'll do all of it, willingly, not because I have to, but because I need to. I need to understand what it means to serve others, to value something besides money and success. The judge is quiet for a long moment. The courtroom waits, every eye on him. Finally, he speaks. Ms. Winters, I'm going to do something I rarely do. I'm going to modify my sentence, not reduce it, modify it. Natasha holds her breath. The fine stand, $15,000 total. The license suspension stands, 180 days. The community service stands, 250 hours at the hospital. The letter, the PSA, the driver course, all of that stands. He pauses. But I'm going to suspend the jail sentence, not dismiss it, suspend it. You will remain on probation for 1 year. If you complete all requirements of your sentence with genuine effort and growth, the contempt charge will be dismissed. If you fail to complete any part, or if you show up with anything less than sincere dedication, you will serve the full 15 days, plus an additional 30 for violating probation. Do you understand? Natasha nods so hard her head might fall off. Yes. Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't thank me, the judge says. Thank Mrs. Chen. She's the one who spoke for you. She's the one who showed you grace you didn't earn. Natasha turns to Mrs. Chen. She walks closer. Slowly. Hesitantly. Mrs. Chen and I, thank you. I don't deserve your kindness, but I promise I'll prove worthy of it. I'll work so hard. I'll change. I swear I will. Mrs. Chen nods. She doesn't smile, but there's something in her eyes. Maybe hope. Maybe just exhaustion. Judge Caprio addresses the whole courtroom. Let this case be a lesson. Wealth does not place anyone above the law. Success does not grant immunity from consequences. And privilege, especially privilege, comes with responsibility. The responsibility to treat others with dignity, to follow the rules that keep us all safe, to value human life above profit. He looks at Natasha. Ms. Winters, I'm giving you a chance. One chance. Use it wisely. Become someone Mrs. Chen's granddaughter could look up to. Become someone Riley doesn't have to make excuses for. Become someone your future self will be proud of. Natasha wipes her eyes. I will. I promise I will. Court is adjourned. Judge Caprio says. He bangs his gavel. The bailiff moves back. No handcuffs needed. Not today. Riley hugs Natasha. They both cry. Different tears now. Relief. Gratitude. Understanding. Mrs. Chen collects her things. She walks toward the exit. Slowly. Carefully. Her limp is more pronounced now. Standing for so long was hard on her hip. Natasha sees this. She moves quickly. Mrs. Chen, wait. Can I help you to your car? Mrs. Chen looks surprised, then thoughtful. I don't have a car. I take the bus. Then let me call you a car. Please. Uber. Lyft. Whatever you prefer. Let me at least do that. Mrs. Chen studies her, searching for sincerity. Finally, she nods. Okay. Thank you. Natasha pulls out her phone. Her hands still shake, but she orders a car. She walks with Mrs. Chen to the courthouse entrance. Riley follows. The three women stand together, waiting. When do you want me to start? Natasha asks. The community service. I know the judge set weekends, but if you want me to start this Saturday, I can. I'll clear my schedule. Mrs. Chen considers. The hospital coordinator will contact you. But yes, this Saturday would be good. 7 a.m. sharp. Don't be late. I won't be, Natasha promises. I'll be there, 7 a.m. The car arrives. A simple sedan. Nothing fancy. Natasha opens the door for Mrs. Chen. Helps her get in. Makes sure she's comfortable. Before closing the door, Mrs. Chen looks at her. Ms. Winters, I meant what I said. I believe in second chances. My faith teaches forgiveness. But forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing to give grace despite the hurt. Don't waste this grace. I won't, Natasha says. Her voice is firm. Sure, I promise you. I won't. The car drives away. Natasha and Riley stand on the courthouse steps. People pass them. Some stare, some whisper. Word has already spread. The entitled CEO who got taken down by Judge Caprio. Riley speaks first. That was intense. That was necessary, Natasha corrects. She looks at Riley. Really looks at her. Really, I owe you an apology too. Riley blinks. What? I brought you here to answer for me. To take responsibility for my mistakes. That was wrong. So wrong. You're my assistant, not my scapegoat. And I've been treating you like... She trails off. Like you're not a person. Like you're a tool I use. I'm sorry. Riley's eyes fill with tears. Again, thank you for saying that. And your salary, Natasha continues. $38,000 for 60-hour weeks is ridiculous. Starting next month, you're getting a raise. $55,000, plus overtime pay for anything over 40 hours, plus health insurance, plus 2 weeks paid vacation. Actual vacation, not on-call vacation. Riley's mouth drops open. Are you serious? Completely serious. You've been amazing, patient, loyal. You deserve so much better than I've given you. Natasha takes a breath. And if you want to quit, I understand. After today, I wouldn't blame you. Riley thinks about it. Really thinks. Then she shakes her head. I don't want to quit. I want to see this. I want to see you change. I want to help you become who you're supposed to be. Natasha smiles. A real smile. Not the practiced CEO smile. A genuine, grateful expression. Thank you, Riley. Truly. They start walking. Toward the parking lot. Where Natasha's Tesla waits. But she won't be driving it. Not for 6 months. Really? Can you drive? Natasha asks. I should probably let you practice in the Tesla, since you'll be driving me places for the next 6 months. I can drive, Riley confirms. Not well, but I can. They laugh. Quiet laughter. The kind that comes after crying, after breaking, after starting to heal. 8 weeks later. The courthouse is busy. Thursday morning. Multiple cases scheduled. Judge Caprio reviews files in his chambers. There's a knock on his door. Come in, he calls. The door opens. Natasha Winters enters. She looks different. Her hair is in a simple ponytail. She wears jeans, a plain sweater, sneakers, no designer labels visible. No jewelry except small earrings. Her face has no makeup. She looks younger, softer, real. Behind her, Mrs. Chen enters, and Riley, and someone else, a little girl, 7 years old. Big eyes. Dark hair and braids. She holds Mrs. Chen's hand. Your Honor, Natasha says, I hope it's okay that we came. I know I'm not scheduled for a court date. Judge Caprio stands. Of course. Please to sit. He gestures to chairs. Everyone sits. The little girl climbs onto Mrs. Chen's lap. I wanted to give you an update, Natasha says. She pulls out a folder. I've completed all my community service hours, 250 hours. I have the signed documentation here. She hands him papers. He reviews them. Signatures from hospital supervisors. Dates, times, notes about her performance. Excellent. Hardworking. Respectful. Humble. I stirred food in the cafeteria. Cleaned dishes. Mopped floors. Took out trash. Delivered meal trays to patient rooms. I saw children fighting cancer. Families struggling. Nurses working double shifts because they're understaffed. Her voice is steady. Calm. I learned more in those 250 hours than in 4 years of college. Judge Caprio nods. How did it feel? Hard, Natasha admits. The first week was awful. My feet hurt. My back hurt. I was exhausted. I kept thinking about deals I was missing. Meetings I had to reschedule, but then something changed. I started noticing things. A little boy who loved the pancakes I served. A family who thanked me for bringing them coffee during a long night. A nurse, Mrs. Chen's coworker, who told me I was doing great. She smiles. I started showing up early, staying late, asking what else I could do. Not because I had to, because I wanted to, because it felt good to help, to serve, to be part of something bigger than myself. Mrs. Chen speaks. She was wonderful, Your Honor. The staff loved her. The families loved her. She brightened so many hard days. Natasha looks at Mrs. Chen. I also wrote the letter. Would you like to read it? She pulls out several handwritten pages. Her handwriting is messy but earnest. She hands them to the judge. He reads, slowly, carefully. The letter is raw, honest. It describes her actions, her privilege, her blindness to other struggles, her wake-up call, her gratitude for mercy, her commitment to change. By the end, there are no legal words, no careful phrasing, just human emotion, regret, hope, determination. This is good, the judge says. Very good. Did you read it to Mrs. Chen? I did, Natasha says. 3 weeks ago, at her home, I met Lily. She gestures to the little girl on Mrs. Chen's lap. She's amazing. Lily smiles shyly. I also completed the driver safety course. 40 hours. Perfect attendance. Perfect scores. And I created the PSA. It's been running on 3 local stations for 4 weeks now. It's on all my social media, my company's social media. It'll stay there permanently, as promised. She pulls out her phone, shows him the video. It's 1 minute long. Natasha, looking directly at the camera. No makeup, no professional lighting, just honest. She describes what she did, the danger she caused, the lives she nearly destroyed. She urges viewers to put down phones, focus on driving. Remember that seconds of distraction can cause lifetimes of pain. The video has comments, thousands of them. Some are harsh, some are supportive. Many say things like, "Thank you for owning this," and "This is real accountability." The video has been viewed over 200,000 times, Natasha says. People share it, tag their friends. Several high schools have requested permission to show it in driver's ed classes. I said yes to all of them. Judge Caprio smiles, a small, proud smile. Ms. Winters, you've exceeded my expectations. Truly. Thank you, Natasha says. But I didn't come just to report. I came to ask something. What's that? I want to keep volunteering at the hospital. 1 Saturday a month, if they'll have me. Not because I have to, because I want to, because those kids deserve all the support they can get, and because it keeps me grounded, reminds me what really matters. Mrs. Chen nods. We'd love to have her. She's already arranged to fund new equipment for the pediatric ward, heart monitors, comfortable chairs for parents, art supplies for the kids. I also changed some things at my company, Natasha adds. I hired 3 more people, spread the workload. No one works more than 45 hours a week now. We have real PTO, mental health days. I'm paying everyone more, creating a more sustainable culture. Riley nods. She's been quiet until now. It's different, better. People are happier, more productive. Turns out you don't need to work people to death to build a successful company. Natasha looks at Riley. Riley's not my assistant anymore. She's my director of operations, real title, real salary, real respect. Riley grins. Judge Caprio leans back. Ms. Winters, this transformation is remarkable. I want to be clear about something. This isn't common. Most defendants do the minimum. Complete their hours, pay their fines, move on unchanged. But you actually learned. You actually grew. Why? Natasha thinks, because I didn't have a choice. You didn't let me buy my way out. You didn't let me hide behind excuses. You forced me to face what I'd become. And I hated it. I hated seeing myself clearly. But once I did, I couldn't unsee it. I couldn't go back to who I was. That person was hollow, empty, chasing things that don't matter. She looks at Lily. The little girl plays with Mrs. Chen's bracelet, innocent, unaware of how close she came to losing her grandmother. I almost destroyed this little girl's life, Natasha says quietly. For a business call. That's insane. That's evil. Not intentionally evil, but evil through indifference, through selfishness. I never want to be that person again. Lily looks up at Natasha. You're the pancake lady, she says. Her voice is sweet, small. Natasha laughs. I am. Did you like the pancakes? They were good, Lily says seriously. You made them with chocolate chips sometimes. I did. Special request from the nurses. Can you make them again? Lily asks. Absolutely. This Saturday, I'll be there. Judge Caprio watches this interaction. His heart warms. This is why he does this job. Not to punish. To teach, to guide, to help people become better versions of themselves. Ms. Winters, I'm dismissing the contempt charge. You fulfilled all requirements of your sentence. You're released from probation. Your record will show the traffic violations, but the contempt charge is gone. Officially. Natasha's eyes water. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Don't thank me. Thank the woman sitting next to you. She gave you grace when you didn't deserve it. She showed you mercy when she had every right to demand justice. Mrs. Chen is the hero of this story. Not me. Not you. Her. Natasha turns to Mrs. Chen. You saved me. You know that? You could have let him send me to jail. You could have demanded harsher punishment. But you gave me a chance. I'll spend the rest of my life trying to be worthy of that. Mrs. Chen smiles. Just be good, Ms. Winters. Help people. Use your resources for good. That's all I ask. I will, Natasha promises. I already am. She reaches into her bag, pulls out an envelope, hands it to Mrs. Chen. This is for Lily, for her education. College fund. It's not much, but it's a start. Mrs. Chen opens it. Her eyes widen. This is $50,000. Like I said, it's a start. I'll add to it. Every year, on the anniversary of the day I almost killed you. A reminder, a commitment. Mrs. Chen's hands shake. Ms. Winters, this is too much. It's not enough. Natasha says, it'll never be enough, but it's something. Let me do this, please. Mrs. Chen looks at Lily, then at Natasha. Okay, thank you. This will change her life. She deserves every opportunity, Natasha says. She deserves a grandmother who's here to see her grow up. I'm sorry I almost took that away. They sit together, 5 people in the judge's chambers, a tech CEO, a pediatric nurse, a little girl, a former assistant turned director, and a judge who believes in second chances. Your Honor, Natasha says, can I ask you something? Of course. Why didn't you just let me pay the fine and leave? You could have. Most judges would have. Why did you push so hard? Judge Caprio removes his glasses, cleans them, puts them back on. Because I saw potential. Under all that arrogance and entitlement, I saw someone who could change. Someone who needed to change. And because Mrs. Chen deserved more than your money, she deserved your understanding, your growth, your transformation into someone who would never endanger another person like that again. He pauses. Money is easy, Ms. Winters. Change is hard. I gave you the hard path because I believed you could walk it. And you did. Natasha nods. What if I hadn't? What if I'd failed? Then you would have gone to jail and learned the lesson differently. But I had a feeling about you. Call it intuition. Call it hope. Call it faith. I believed you had it in you to become better. Thank you for believing in me, Natasha says, even when I didn't believe in myself. 6 months after that. A local news segment runs. The anchor announces a story about TechVista, the social media analytics company. They just launched a new initiative, a program that connects businesses with charitable organizations, helps companies use their resources for social good, tracks community impact alongside profit margins. The segment interviews Natasha Winters, CEO. She's in her office, but the walls are different now. Instead of awards and magazine covers, there are photos. Kids from the hospital. Thank you cards from families. A framed drawing from Lily. A picture of Natasha in her cafeteria uniform serving pancakes. Our company was built on data, Natasha explains to the camera. But data without humanity is meaningless. We shifted our focus. Yes, we still help businesses analyze their social media, but now we also help them measure their impact, their contribution to society. We found that companies who invest in their communities are actually more successful, more sustainable. Their employees are happier. Their customers are more loyal. The interviewer asks, what inspired this change? Natasha smiles. A traffic ticket, and a judge who wouldn't let me buy my way out. He taught me that success isn't about money or fame. It's about impact, legacy, the lives you touch, the people you help. I almost forgot that. Almost lost myself to ambition, but I got a second chance, and I'm using it to help others get theirs. The segment shows footage of TechVista employees volunteering at hospitals, food banks, schools. The company now gives every employee 8 paid volunteer days per year. They match charitable donations. They partner with local nonprofits. Business can be a force for good, Natasha says. Should be. We have resources, influence, platforms. Why not use them to make the world better? The segment ends with Natasha at the hospital. It's Saturday morning. She's in her cafeteria uniform, serving breakfast, smiling at kids, chatting with nurses. Mrs. Chen works nearby. They exchange a glance, a nod, understanding. Later that day, Natasha sits with Lily in the hospital playroom. They're coloring. Lily chatters about school, her friends, her favorite books. Natasha listens, really listens. Her phone is in her locker. Turned off. This time is sacred. Ms. Natasha, Lily says, Grandma says you're her friend now. I hope so, Natasha says. Your grandma is a special lady. She says you made a big mistake, but you fixed it. Is that true? Natasha considers how to answer. Yes, I made a really big mistake. I wasn't paying attention. I almost hurt your grandma. But some people gave me a chance to learn, to be better, and I'm trying every day to deserve that chance. I'm glad you're better now, Lily says simply. She hands Natasha a crayon. This is your color. Blue, like your apron. Natasha takes the crayon. They color together, a child and a CEO. In a hospital playroom on a Saturday, and Natasha realizes something. This moment, right here, this matters more than any deal she's ever closed, any investor she's ever impressed, any featured in any magazine. This is what she almost lost. Connection, humanity, purpose. She'll never forget that, never take it for granted, never let success blind her again. Because some lessons you only get once, and if you're lucky, really lucky, you get people like Judge Caprio and Mrs. Chen who believe you can learn them. The courtroom video went viral, over 3 million views. Comments pouring in from around the world. People debate it, share it, use it in classrooms. Some say the judge was too harsh. Most say he was right. A few say Natasha's transformation is fake, a PR move. But those who know her see the truth. Riley sees it. Mrs. Chen sees it. The hospital staff sees it. The kids in the cafeteria see it. Natasha Winters is different now. Not perfect. She still works too much sometimes. Still stresses about business. Still has moments of old habits creeping back. But she catches herself. Corrects course. Remembers what matters. She drives differently now. When she got her license back, her first drive was terrifying. She went 30 in a 35 zone. Both hands on the wheel. Eyes on the road. Phone in the back seat. Turned off. She approaches every intersection like Mrs. Chen might be crossing. Every crosswalk like Lily might be there. She gives herself extra time. Leaves earlier. Arrives safely. She treats Riley differently. With respect. Appreciation. As a colleague and friend. Not a servant. She runs her company differently. Profits are important, but so are people. Impact. Legacy. In Judge Caprio's courtroom, justice was served. Not through jail time. Not through crushing fines. Through transformation. Through accountability. Through a judge who saw potential in a victim who extended grace. This is what justice can look like. When it's about more than punishment. When it's about growth. Change. Becoming better. Natasha Winters came into that courtroom as an entitled CEO who thought she could buy her way out. She left as a person who understood that some things can't be purchased, can't be delegated, can't be shortcut. Respect, responsibility, humanity, these have to be earned, learned, lived. And in the end, that's the lesson. Money can buy many things: expensive clothes, fancy cars, designer accessories, technology, comfort, convenience. But money cannot buy back time, cannot undo harm, cannot purchase respect, cannot buy character. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice is earned through accountability, through change, through becoming someone worthy of second chances. Natasha learned that the hard way, the right way, the only way that actually sticks. And maybe, just maybe, her story will inspire others other entitled defendants, other people who think they're above the rules, other successful people who've forgotten what really matters. Maybe they'll watch the video, see themselves in Natasha, and choose differently. Maybe they'll put down their phones, slow down, look at the road, notice the people around them. Maybe they'll treat their assistants with respect, use their resources for good, value impact over income. Maybe. That's the hope anyway, the possibility that one case, one judge, one verdict can ripple outward, touch lives, change hearts, make the world just a little bit better. Because that's what justice is supposed to do. Not just punish the guilty, but transform them. Give them the tools, the perspective, the motivation to become better. Judge Caprio did that. Mrs. Chen did that. Together, they changed a life. And in changing one life, they possibly changed many more. The story doesn't end here. It continues. Every day, Natasha makes choices. Small choices. Big choices. Choices that honor the second chance she was given. Every Saturday, she volunteers. Every deal she makes, she considers the impact. Every employee she hires, she treats with dignity. Every time she drives, she remembers Mrs. Chen, Lily, the 7-year-old who almost lost everything. And she chooses differently. Better, right. That's the legacy of Case 2025 Tier 91,863. Not a tech CEO's fall from grace, but her rise to actual grace. Real grace. The kind that comes from being broken down and rebuilt. From facing your worst self and choosing to become better. From learning that you're not special, not above others, not exempt from basic human decency. You're just a person, with responsibilities, with the power to help or harm, with choices to make every single day. And the measure of your life isn't your net worth, your job title, your media mentions. It's how you treat people, especially people who can't do anything for you. People like Mrs. Chen, like Riley, like Lily. It's whether you use your resources to lift others up or push them down. It's whether you take responsibility or hide behind excuses. It's whether you learn from mistakes or repeat them. Natasha learned. Finally. Fully. Forever. And that's the story of the tech CEO who brought her assistant to court, who thought she could delegate accountability